Global News. Global News Sports.
Jazz and blues.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to talk about it. Yes, we're going to talk about it. What are we talking about? We're talking about realignment. Yes, I've been hearing that ACC is looking at two teams in the Big 12, West Virginia and TCU. After this next contract end, they are going to attempt to add those two schools. Okay, warning alert for West Virginia in particular, not so much TCU. I don't see TCU having any desire to go to the ACC, especially when there's a decline in value after 3 to possibly 6 teams leave, maybe even more in the next several years. We know Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina, just to name a few, have been already making their communications known that they would like to go to another conference, period. And with that being said, the value of the ACC is going to go down. Now, what this is an attempt to raise the antennas of those particular teams that they could come over there in an attempt to try to save their conference. And really what I end up seeing happening is them backfilling from the AAC, like the Memphises and all the study that was out with all of the teams that could potentially end up in the ACC, the Tulanes, the Memphises, the University of South Florida, so on and et cetera, right? That's was the more likely scenario. Now, West Virginia is unique because they've been wanting to go to the to the ACC for years now, and it was due to them being isolated there on the East. And with that being said, Cincinnati was added to accommodate that, as well as Central Florida, even though that's a little bit more further south. But keep in mind that the Big 12 do have plans for heading east, and that would include some teams from the ACC. Now, this is almost like a deterrent too, so attention would not be focused on the ACC with them losing members and how so many people want to get out of their grant of rights. They're kind of like trying to backfill early before in advance. So with that being said, I don't see TCU wanting to go to a declining league. It makes no sense when they can increase their revenue right there in the Big 12, the next round of TV negotiations. The Big 12 is going to double up on their next round of TV negotiations. So I don't see any current members leaving to the ACC or wanting to go to the ACC, with the exception of West Virginia. We don't know how they feel about travel, but at the end of the day, we do know that there will be teams that's going to leave the ACC and go to other conferences. So with that being said, I just wanted to touch on that concept of them putting out that TCU and West Virginia is two teams that they would like to go to their conference. Now, why would TCU go there? I don't see why they would. They have everything in the realm of the members that are there. Right now, this is a transition year for the Big 12, and a number of reasons, because you have to understand, you have 4 new teams that have come in, BYU, West Virginia, Cincinnati, and Houston, right? There's a transition period for meshing together as a conference with these teams. Gameplay, game style, scheduling, travel, so on and so forth. So this is the transition that we're seeing here. And then also you have Oklahoma and Texas leaving after this season. So there'll be a transition for them as well, going over to the SEC. And they're not going to do well that first year. As a matter of fact, the SEC is going to have some transition from the top down. You're going to see other teams coming up in the SEC. Usually when there's a realignment, there's always a transition period. Now, also, mind you, there'll be another additional year of transition period for the Big 12, because then they'll be bringing in the 4 corner schools, and they'll be getting acclimated to the Big 12 as well, along with the other 14 teams, or should I say 12 members. And so you will see another year of transition. Now, on that third year, when all members have been into the league and they're acclimated, that's when you're going to really see the seriousness, the camaraderie, the solid play on the football field, and the Big 12. You're going to see some solid programming, big action football games, good games in the Big 12, and I would say 26 year. That's when you're going to really see the Big 12 as a force to be reckoned with in this football world. And hands down, we already know that they're going to dominate the basketball arenas. We know this. So we don't have to talk about basketball. We're just talking about football. Okay. And I've already said it before. The Big 12 is the most well-balanced conference right now today, period. Now, whenever there's transition, you're going to see games that are lost that should have been won, because everyone is trying to establish themselves and position themselves and what type of team they're going to be. Who is the team that to beat? Who is the tougher team? And so on and so forth. And when all the ducks line up in a row, that's going to be that season, as I mentioned to you, 25-26 season, when everyone is acclimated and the Big 12 is a force to be reckoned with. Every year putting in at least 2 teams minimum into the playoffs, period. You just know that. And not only that, basketball, we already know, we don't have to discuss that. They're loaded, locked and loaded in basketball. And when they decouple basketball from football and sell the rights separately, that's going to increase the overall value of the Big 12, period. Now, would other conferences be able to do that? We don't know, but that's besides the point. These are the things that are moving forward to this super conference, and look forward to some ACC teams to come over to the Big 12, and you'll be surprised. Like I said, so you're going to hear rhetoric, you're going to hear talk from the ACC trying to deflect all the devaluing and the teams leaving their conference to try to stay afloat. But you already see what's going on. We already know the Stanford and the Cal thing is not going to work. They're way on the other side of the planet, and it's a good chance they may end up going to the Big 12 or the Big 10 at some point. So it's a good chance that may end up happening. The only reason, I'm gonna just say this, let's be clear about this. The only reason why Stanford and Cal went to the ACC is just so they don't become devalued as a program. We already know the conference became devalued, but as a program, they did not want to merge with the Mountain West. They would do anything to not have to go to the Mountain West. So this is the reason why you've seen them go all the way over to the ACC, because the Big 10 was not going to add them. The Big 12 was not going to add them. And the SEC have no need for expanding across the country, as you heard it from the commissioner himself. and the only option was the ACC. They said, come on, y'all come in, and also adding SMU. That was a good move for SMU to go over to a power conference at the moment, but they didn't go in the right way because they will not be earning any profit. Now, they mentioned something like, oh, that's for the long run. Well, it's for the long run, but at the same time, it doesn't really feel like you're in a power conference if you're not reaping the benefits of it, besides just playing the better opponents and being on TV. So with that being said, once again, Global News Sports, this is the feedback on the rumor mill of the ACC saying that they would like to add West Virginia and TCU. Once again, thank y'all for watching, and don't forget to have a great day.